Welcome to Reiki Rising, your guide to all things Reiki and igniting your spiritual path. Join us every week as we delve into the transformative world of Reiki, sharing insights on how to navigate this earthly journey while elevating the vibration of the collective. Be prepared for deep discussions, enlightening interviews, and maybe even a glimpse or two into our live Instagram Reiki shares and conversations. Whether you're a seasoned practitioner or new to the energy healing realm, this podcast is your sanctuary for growth, healing, and connection. Welcome to Radiate Abundance, embracing the power of gratitude. Join us for this transformative journey in this free class where we'll delve into the deep relationship between gratitude and abundance. Here, we will discover the vibration of love resonates way beyond monetary wealth, and we'll uncover hidden abundance blocks that may be impeding your perception of abundance. And this will help us create a pathway to navigate these obstacles and cultivate a mindset of abundance that empowers you to redefine what it really means to you to be abundant. I'm excited you're here for this opportunity, and I am grateful for all of you who are excited about this class. So let's go ahead and jump in. We'll first talk about understanding abundance. So defining abundance beyond monetary wealth, exploring different aspects of abundance, and recognizing the role of perception in shaping our experience of abundance. So abundance can be so much more than just the money that we have in our bank account. It can be anything around you. So if we're talking about abundance in the sense of things that are not monetary wealth, we're thinking of our health, maybe our relationships, opportunities that we have. This could be just something as simple as being able to walk outside and to look at nature all around you, to interact with nature, to have friends and family, a support system around you, to be in good health. If you are in good health, to find gratitude there, and really taking time to explore these different aspects of abundance that are in your life. This is really important because we often just look at abundance as the amount of money we have in our bank, or if we're going to be able to pay our bills, and this creates a vibration of scarcity and fear, which is the opposite of the vibration of love. So we lower our vibration or shift our vibration into a place where we are not in a vibration of receiving, that we don't feel grateful. So we are grasping maybe, and that's a constriction instead of being open. So if we think about when we're fearful, we're kind of contracting, right? We're pulling everything in, we're shutting down, we're moving into that space where we don't have enough, so we're clinging to everything, right? But if we are in the vibration of love and of gratitude, then we are shifting into a place of openness. Think about when we are in a place of receiving and connection, right? We're connecting with somebody where we've gotten a gift that we weren't expecting. Maybe someone bought us coffee or got us, something because they were thinking of us or want to spend time with us even. It doesn't have to be a physical gift. It can be a gift of time or friendship. And when we're really connected in that moment, we feel open and we feel safe and joyful, and we're in a different space where we're no longer constricting, right? Because we feel supported where we are, and we feel stable and happy and safe in that space. So you can kind of play around with that feeling of that vibration for you, and explore different areas of your life, such as health or relationships, careers, opportunities, whatever it is in your life, and really look at how you feel in these spaces. And I'll walk you through a couple of exercises as we move through this class today to identify some blocks that you may have related to abundance. We'll also be talking about the power of gratitude. So exploring gratitude and love and how this can shift and enhance our perception of abundance. And we'll be talking about some gratitude practices as well. So when we go into identifying abundance blocks, common abundance blocks or limiting beliefs, we'll be doing some exercises here. So these are a few exercises that you can do to kind of identify or begin to notice where you may have some personal abundance blocks. These are all pretty common. So we're usually talking about wealth or success or prosperity. There's this sense of, not having enough, or there's not enough money for everybody, there's not enough to go around. And this really has a thread of control attached to it. So this comes from the idea that, if you don't have money, then you aren't enough. If you don't have or someone else has money that you don't have, then you're lacking or less than. So that creates that block of not feeling worthy and not feeling like there's enough to go around. And long ago, we used to live with the earth. Before money became an exchange of energy, which is really what it is, and it's an exchange of energy. So I go to work every day and I exchange 8 hours of time to take home X amount of dollars to then exchange for products, services, whatever it is, that someone else has exchanged their time for. So it's an exchange rate that we're kind of buying into. But before this, there used to be just a bartering system, and that's still in place for somewhat. If you own your own business, you can barter, exchange your time with others. And that creates also a sense of abundance. So if you have a place where you are feeling really abundant in your life, maybe you have something you really enjoy doing or creating, and there's something else that someone else creates, don't feel afraid to ask. Don't be afraid to ask, would you be, consider trading? Would you be in a place to consider a trade for this item? That's another way that we can find abundance in our lives. But let's move into some reflective exercises to identify personal abundance blocks. So one of these is self-reflection. So take some time to reflect on your beliefs and attitudes towards abundance. Consider what your thoughts and feelings are about wealth, success, and prosperity. Take some time here to write down any reoccurring negative thoughts or limiting beliefs that you have about abundance. For example, like we talked about, money is scarce, or I don't deserve wealth or success. I don't, maybe you grew up in a family that didn't have a lot of food. There was food scarcity. Money scarcity, and this has created a story for you that you can't afford things or that you don't have enough money for something. So take a moment here to pause this recording and to sit down and take time to reflect, to take a moment to write down any of these reoccurring negative thoughts or limiting beliefs that you have about abundance. And we'll start there. And then we'll move on to another practice to identify abundance blocks. Because if we are looking to shift, we need to see where we're starting. So let's set a foundation by identifying these personal abundance blocks, these stories that you have. So pause here and come back. Okay, so now that we have our abundance blocks written down, so maybe you have some of your beliefs written down, you have some of your negative thoughts or stories written down about money or prosperity or career, what success even means to you. Let's start a journaling practice. So you can start this by focusing on the word abundance and write out one experience with abundance in your life, such as a career, a relationship, your health, or your finances. Pick one of these topics and pay attention to any patterns or themes that emerge in your writing. Notice if there are any common narratives or stories that you tell yourself about abundance. So look at your list of stories, your words. It may even just be one word that you've written down from your first exercise. And look at your next section and start writing down any experiences that you've had here. And just pick one experience. Maybe it's in your health. One experience, maybe in your family, your career, or in your finances. And talk about something that is abundant here. Embrace the feeling of abundance, of gratitude. So maybe you're really grateful for your mom or your sister or your brother and how they support you in your life, the ways that they're there for you. Maybe you are really grateful for being able to be in a career that you are passionate about. Maybe you're really grateful for the way that you connect with people in your career. Maybe you're really grateful for your partner or your best friend. Maybe right now you have everything you need financially and you are really grateful for that. Pay attention to the patterns. Notice if there are any restrictions in your body or anything that you're just unsure of. Notice any stories that you're telling yourself about abundance. Pause here, continue this practice, and come back. Okay, so now that we have had a little bit of reflection and we've taken some time to reflect on our beliefs and attitudes, and we've journaled a little bit about some of the ways that we feel abundance in our life and paid attention to some of those patterns, made note of them maybe, we'll move into a visualization practice. And I'd like you to just take a moment here to close your eyes and imagine yourself living a life of abundance in all areas. Visualize yourself experiencing wealth, success, fulfillment in all of your relationships, in your career, in your health, in your personal and spiritual growth. Just picture what that would look like for a moment. See if you can imagine what it would look like if all of your needs were met, what your life would be like. Who would you be around? What would you be doing? If you were living a life of abundance in all areas, how would you be living this experience? And as you visualize here, pay attention to these sensations in your body. Maybe there's some discomfort or resistance or doubt. Notice these stories. These are a way that we can identify our potential abundance blocks. So these places where we are blocking that flow of abundance into our lives because we're constricting here. So pay attention to any of those places. Maybe it's in your physical body. Maybe it's in the stories that you weave. Maybe it's in how you are framing this story, this vision. So pause here. Think about this. And then we'll come into some strategies to overcome and release these abundance blocks. Okay. So reframing abundance. This is how we are going to overcome and release some of these blocks that we've identified. So just to recap, we have gone through some self-reflection, some journaling, and we've really visualized how we are going to live this life of abundance, like what that could really look like and where we're feeling that restriction. So now that you have a little bit of background of where you could have these blocks, we can begin to look at how we can overcome or release these. There's a few practices that I have leaned into. So some of these tools for reframing are for reframing what abundance means to you. So we're looking at shifting our perspective from this constriction or from just looking at monetary wealth and now shifting into what else might be abundant to you in your life, or what else would abundance mean to you. I had one client who said that abundance meant freedom to them. So what does freedom look like? So it may be something that that you never even thought about before. So one of the practices here is to create a vision board. And this isn't something that we're going to do right now, but this is a practice for you to come back to. So in reframing abundance, this is one of the tools. We'll call it, maybe your homework or the takeaway practice for reframing abundance. So creating a vision board. Create a vision board that really reflects your personal definition of abundance. So whatever was in this visualization for you, let's pull that out into the physical world. Pull it out of our mind's eye, pull it out into the world so that we can really look at it every day, so that we can see what is abundance to me. So creating this vision board include images, pick words or symbols that represent abundance in all areas of your life. In your relationships, in your health, your career, your spiritual or personal growth. Use this vision board as a reminder of your potential. Looking at this vision board every day, this could be someplace in your it could even be the wallpaper on your phone, but having this up somewhere where you can see it, or even just like sticky notes. If you put, this practice of putting affirmations on our mirror, or sticky notes around our house with affirmations, maybe these are practices of abundance, reminders of abundance. So having this, visually seeing it, gives us another way to anchor into this vibration of abundance and gratitude. Journaling prompts. Using journaling as a tool for exploring and reframing your beliefs about abundance is really powerful. Writing your past experiences with abundance and your current perceptions with abundance and your vision for this future. So going through this practice of what we just did, this first practice of identifying and journaling and visualizing what this future would look like. Ask yourself questions like, what does abundance mean to me? Or how can I expand my definition of abundance beyond material wealth? And dig deep here. The deeper you go, the further you are going to take this. This is not going to be an easy practice necessarily. This might come easy to you, but a lot of us have really deep blocks here, depending on your experiences. But really ask yourself how you can expand this definition of abundance beyond anything material. So going back and revising this list, looking at this list, and really seeing if there's something you can shift in it. And maybe as you continue this practice, you go back and look at where you started and like, wow, I'm so grateful even for like how far I've come in identifying like what abundance even means to me. Because if we don't know what abundance means to me, then how can we manifest abundance? How can we ask for abundance from the universe? How can we ask the universe to support us in our journey if we don't even know what that is yet? So doing this journaling is really, really helpful. And there are some other journaling practices that I will be sharing with you later on in this offering. The next way to reframe abundance is a gratitude practice. So we're talking about how gratitude is the vibration of abundance. And this is that level of love, right? So we're really grateful. So cultivating a daily gratitude practice to shift your focus from scarcity to abundance is creating a habit of acknowledging and appreciating the abundance that already exists in your life. So whether it's your relationship or a beautiful sunset or being in the garden or going on a nice walk, just a little moment of joy. Find presence in that vibration of gratitude. One of my favorite things to do is to go on a walk. And even in the city, doesn't matter where you are, you don't have to go far, just walk around in your neighborhood maybe, or maybe just, open your window and feel the sun on your skin and listen to the world around you. To find presence there and to just listen, I often find myself feeling this sense of gratitude and this vibration of just, wow, like this is such a beautiful experience, just listening to the world happening around me. That is tuning into that vibration of abundance, that vibration of gratitude, because you're so grateful for just like, wow, I get to live here and I get to just exist in this space and I get to hear or see or smell or experience this in some way. So gratitude practice daily is definitely a way to shift your focus. Affirmations and mantras create a way to expand your definition of abundance. Repeating these regularly reinforces our new beliefs and internalizes that mindset of abundance. Some of these mantras could be like, I'm grateful for abundance of love, joy, and opportunities, or I attract abundance effortlessly with gratitude. One of the mantras that I like to use whenever I spend money is love. And this comes from the work of Barbara Wilder, who talks about how money is the vibration of love and how that removes some of this restriction, because we look at money as not being love. And so to shift our perspective there. So finding an affirmation that works for you. Another one that I use is everything I spend comes back to me times 10. There are so many mantras that you can create. During meditation, I will do an abundance manifestation mantra. It's like, I am abundance. Abundance flows through me, is around me, above me, below me, whatever. Just kind of lean into whatever comes up for you, something that feels natural to you, something that resonates with you. And within this like affirmation and mantras, I like to incorporate that visualization exercise. So practicing that exercise of imagining yourself living in alignment with this expanded definition of abundance. So imagining yourself living in this place, experiencing abundance in all the areas of your life, and using all of your senses to make the visualization as vivid and as immersive as possible. When we connect to our senses, we anchor ourselves even deeper into that vibration. So it becomes a reality. And the more that we align with that reality, the more that we draw that same vibration to us, that we remain aligned with that same vibration. And the last way that we can kind of bring in a practice of reframing abundance is to act if. Adopt the act if mentality. Behave as if you already possess the abundance you desire. So take actions towards your goals. Make decisions from a place of abundance rather than scarcity, and embody the qualities of someone who's living an abundant life. Act as if you are living this life. That is creating the abundance, the vibration of abundance that you are aligning with. This can be really difficult, especially if we're moving into a new transition of something in our lives. If we're trying to make a shift into a new career or a new relationship, or maybe we're making a big move, like to somewhere, like we're picking up and moving our life somewhere. Whatever that transition is for you, notice that moment of restriction and remind yourself that you're abundant, and act as if this abundance already exists. So for me, this really came alive when I opened my practice last fall. I moved it out of my safe space of my home, and I shifted into a more public space, which meant that I had overhead. And this was one of the big shifts for me in recognizing where my abundance blocks were. I had been living small. I had been keeping myself small into a safe space where there was a little risk. And that's what made me feel safe. But that's also what kept me from growing, kept my expansion from me. So I wasn't able to expand in that space. There was a limit, a cap to what I was doing, so I was blocking myself. Moving into this space was scary. It still does have its moments, but the more that I lean into this practice of adopting and acting as if, it really does help me to trust in my path and in my journey. And the more that I trust, the more the universe shows up to support me, and the more I feel abundant. And I really have had a couple of months where I've been like, oh, am I going to make it? And I feel that restriction, and I'm like, you know what? I trust. And as soon as I let go, it starts flowing and everything works out. It really always does. It's us that gets in the way. You are getting in your own way. And we really do. We create these blocks and we create this hardship for ourselves that doesn't necessarily need to be there. But if we're doing the work to really shift our perspective, which is the next place that we're going to be talking about, shifting our perspective a little more, and some practices that we can use there as well. But if we are shifting our perspective, then we are able to create a new timeline, create a new reality for ourselves, which isn't always easy to understand. But if we just start taking a step in that direction, you're making a step, you're continuing, you're going on, you're moving towards this path. So try to lean into some of these practices. See if you can find a mantra that works for you, a gratitude practice, and really try incorporating some of these and just give it a shot. See how it works to reframe what you think of abundance as. Reframe that in your life and shift your perspective. A gratitude journal is a great way to start this practice. Even just writing down 3 things that you're grateful for each day. It can be simple pleasures, moments of joy, acts of kindness you've experienced. Regularly reflecting on abundance in your life shifts your focus immensely from scarcity to gratitude. Like I said, I like going on a walk. I'm taking an abundance walk. Take a walk in nature or around your neighborhood with the intention of noticing abundance. Pay attention to all of the abundance in the life around you, whether it's the leaves on the trees, the birds in the sky, the smiles of strangers. Engage in your senses and appreciate the abundance that surrounds you. Another practice that you can do is an abundance jar. Create a jar or a bowl or a place. You can even incorporate this into the notes that you place around your house. But finding a place to put a symbol representing a moment of abundance as it occurs. So I have like a little sticky pad, and sometimes I'll just write things down and then I will put them somewhere, put them in a jar if you like. This could even be like finding a penny on the ground or a compliment. It can be something beyond money. So experiencing a moment of connection with somebody and just writing that down, and all these little moments of gratitude fills up this jar or fills up a wall or a board. Put them on your vision board even. You'll have this tangible reminder of all of the abundance in your life. So in those moments when you are feeling like really restricted, go to this place, wherever you have this, and look at the abundance that you have in your life, all the reminders that are tangible, that you have experienced, that you can see, and see if that helps you shift your perspective from that place of scarcity. Choosing to incorporate a mantra during those times is really important too. It can be really helpful. Repeating that throughout the day, whether it's like first thing in the morning when you're brushing your teeth or before you go to bed. I am surrounded by abundance, or abundance flows to me effortlessly. Whenever you feel that doubt creeping in, see if you can use the mantra or remind yourself of one of these times where you felt abundant. And I also do this little thing where I like create scissors with my fingers and I chop away that feeling, and I just kind of cut it away, or you can pluck it away. Whatever you feel called to do that works for you. But for me, the little chopping away with the scissors is another way for me to like really tap into anchoring in that, like, I'm not aligning with this timeline. I'm not aligning with this mindset of not having enough. I am abundant, and I remind myself and affirm that I am abundant. So once we are in this place of feeling abundant, we're looking at manifesting more abundance, right? And that isn't because we don't think we have enough, but there are things that we want to do, things that we want to move into, and we would like to feel abundant in doing that, right? So we're visualizing whatever it is that we are seeing as we think of our most abundant life. So we have a tendency to look at like small setbacks as like, oh, this means that I'm not meant to do this, or because I'm not here, I'm not abundant right now. One of the ways that we can align our actions with an abundance mindset, and it'll help us manifest abundance in our life, is by embracing a growth mindset. Adopt a growth mindset that views challenges and these setbacks as opportunities for growth and learning. Embrace failure as a natural part of the learning process and focus on the continuous improvement rather than perfection. Today, I'm setting up for this class and I'm like, man, it's funny. I should actually have a desk in here, but I don't. I don't know why. So I have my laptop set up on the treatment table and my microphone hooked to my phone, and we're doing it, and it's not really a failure. It's just like, oh, okay, I probably should have thought about this a little bit. This isn't the most comfortable space, and it's okay, whatever, it's fine. I think that I I will get a desk now. That's something simple and small that, it's not really a full setback. But throughout this journey, I have had many setbacks. When I got my certification for teaching yoga and for practicing Reiki, I was in the midst of COVID. And so that felt like a huge setback. Like, am I really doing this at the right time? Is this aligned? And it took a long time for me to even get clients. And I felt discouraged. I even took an entire year off from teaching yoga. And I spent a lot of time really like pushing and trying to like advertise and do all this marketing. And I'm just now, and when I say just now, I mean like this week. I'm just now feeling like, okay, I don't think that I need to do as much as I've been doing. I can just kind of sit back, because the more that I'm doing and kind of pushing for this, then the more I am setting myself up for feeling like I am having a really hard time. And so it's not in a place of growth mindset. It's in a place of restriction and fear that I'm not doing enough. And so I have to be doing all of these things to have students in my classes or whatever, instead of just inviting it to be perfect the way it is and embracing this as a part of the journey. That's so hard to surrender to this part of the journey and really just be like, okay, we can improve this. Next class, I'll have a desk and I'll be set up for a video a little better. I didn't really think about that part, and it's just not, the lighting in here is not great. It's just not feasible, and that's okay. So this first class is just a recording, and that's okay. But the next one will be a video. I'll be more prepared, and that'll be fine. That's practicing a growth mindset, accepting where I am now and really knowing that not everything has to be perfect. The content is here. The product is here for you. And whether it looks exactly how I think it needs to look doesn't necessarily matter, because it's part of the process. Like, I have a tendency to want to perfect things and part of this learning process, especially when like starting the podcast, is I just allowed myself to record and post and not edit and not be crazy about it and not re-record episodes over and over and over. And that really helped me let go and surrender, and that's helpful here as well. Instead of saying like, oh, I'm just going to push this out because it's not perfect the way I want, I'm blocking myself from the connection and the experience of sharing this with you. And when I look back on this, when we all look back at this and there's, 10 more workshops and classes up, I can look and be like, wow. And I do this with yoga too. I look at some of my old yoga classes and I'm like, wow, I've really grown in my teaching style and the content that I offer. And if I had waited until I thought everything was perfect, then who knows how long I would be waiting. So embrace a growth mindset. View all these challenges and setbacks as opportunities for growth and for expansion and for learning. The second way to align your actions with an abundance mindset is to invest in yourself. Allocate time, energy, resources to self-care practices that nourish your body, your mind, and your spirit. Whether it's practicing mindfulness, exercising, or engaging in creative pursuits, or prioritizing activities that recharge you. Support your overall well-being, and investing in yourself not only enhances your sense of abundance, but also empowers you to show up as your best self in every area of your life. I have a tendency to run myself into the ground, especially when I'm really excited about something. So when I'm really passionate about something, I go all in. And I don't always take the time to care for myself. as I've been launching this Reiki Rising Collective. This last week has been wild. I have been just trying to get everything up and going, and I haven't taken as much time as I need to pause and take care of myself. So the last few days I've been, came into that awareness, and I'm like, oh, I really need to take more time for myself. So I've been shifting and allowing myself a little more grace. So investing in my self-care, taking time to rest, to not be working all hours of the day, to recharge. For me, my morning yoga practice, non-negotiable. It definitely helps me to feel into my body every single day, even if it's just 15 minutes. This does not have to be a long practice. It can be whatever it is for you. Morning yoga for me, Reiki, self-Reiki. This also is journaling at night for me. Every night I not only practice gratitude, but I'll be sharing another practice that I do when I'm kind of feeling this restriction as well in my daily journaling practices. I journal every night at my altar, and I, pull oracle cards, or I do a therapeutic art activity. Whatever I'm feeling called to is something to kind of give myself rest and support so that I can recharge. Also, going on weekly hikes in nature has been so beneficial for my mental health. This last couple of months, even when it was like still snow on the ground, we were going hiking, and that was really nice. And it's been a practice that even if I have to drag myself out sometimes because I'm like, oh, I have all these things to do, giving myself that time, investing in my mental health, it is unmatched. So I highly recommend investing in yourself, allocating the time and energy for whatever self-care looks like to you. Another way that we can manifest abundance is by giving. The more we give, we connect with that place again of gratitude and of love. And so creating a plan for giving doesn't have to necessarily be a plan, but just having it in your mind that like something that aligns with your values and your financial resources. This can be allocating a portion of your income to a charitable cause or an organization that resonates with you. Reoccurring donations to causes that you believe in are a great way to just kind of do this, but it enriches the lives of others, but it also enhances our own sense of abundance and fulfillment, because if we're giving to others, we know that we have everything we need and more. We are able to give because we know that we are secure. So even if you are just donating, $1 or something, or you're giving your time. This last week, a part of where my office is in the Pelican Collective, and this is a building where Soul Center, where I teach yoga. Julia does Recovery Dharma, which is a donation-based Buddhist recovery programs and programs around habit energy. Many of the offerings, all of the offerings that Soul Center provides are donation-based. The offerings that come from me and other people in the community who bring in sound healing or yoga or Reiki or other activities, somatic breathwork journeys, those are all a way of giving. A portion of those underwrites that. So that is a way that I personally give back to community and to other organizations that I feel really passionate about in their missions. We also are, they took over this building as the master tenants in October when I moved in, and all these other people have moved in. And people in that Recovery Dharma community, we all came together to volunteer our time to landscape around the building, to plant new bushes and greenery and flowers, and to clean up the garden beds around the building. We donated our time because it's an act of service, it's an act of kindness, and it's an act of abundance, of resonating with love and community and connection. So create some type of way that you can give to others, even if it's just like buying lunch for your friend or your coworker, buying coffee for them, something that creates joy in someone else so that they can feel that sense of gratitude and abundance. Like, that's pretty powerful. You're sharing not only creates that sense for you, but it also expands out to someone else. So that is a great way to manifest abundance in your life. It also creates space to receive more. So if we're thinking like, I don't have enough to give to others, we're still in that constriction. So we're creating space by freeing up some energy to flow back to us. In the realm of manifestation, visualization practice is also key. Visualization is a powerful technique that aligns our thoughts, our feelings, and our actions with our desired outcomes. Setting aside dedicated time each day to visualize our goals as if they've already been achieved. So leaning into that practice of closing our eyes and imagining ourselves living our ideal life with the abundance that we're looking for. Visualize all the details, the sights, the sounds, the smells, emotions, anything that is associated with your vision of abundance. Make it as vivid and immersive as possible. When I am doing this practice, I am visualizing what this is going to look like, not only for me, but for other people. As I'm expanding my practice, as I'm expanding this offering to other people, I'm envisioning how this is going to make other people feel, what this is going to do for their lives. Get as big as you can with this, but stay connected to it. You can even create a vision board that represents these goals and desires. So we have one for abundance, but also creating a vision board that represents images, words, symbols around abundance, but that are also for whatever you're trying to manifest. This inspires us and motivates us to take action towards our goals. If we're seeing it and we're looking at it every day, then we're bound to align with that vibration. Affirmations and mantras are the powerful tools for reprogramming our subconscious mind and reinforcing that mindset of abundance. I am worthy of abundance in all areas of my life. I attract unlimited wealth and abundance effortlessly. Abundance flows to me from unexpected sources. Repeat these affirmations, whatever aligns with you, throughout your day, and especially during your visualization practice, anchoring yourself into the abundance consciousness. So I shared that I was going to talk about one other way in my journaling practice that I incorporate manifestation. So scripting is a way that we write out our desired incomes in detail as if they've already happened. Setting aside time each day to write in your manifestation journal, and you're probably like, Raven, I have an abundance journal, I have a gratitude journal, I have a manifestation. How many journals do I need? But I really keep these all in one journal. So this is all a part of my journaling practice at the end of the day. If I am in a place where I'm looking to manifest something specific, if I'm looking to, say, get a new job, or I'm like going on a trip and I'm, really excited about it and I want certain things to go a certain way, maybe, whatever that is for you, writing a letter to myself for the next day, even date it for the next day. And you can do this for as many days as you like, for as many days in a row, for as many weeks as you want, until you come into that reality, really. But writing down a letter or writing in your journal as detailed and specific as possible, focus on how you would feel. I like to write like it's the end of that day and my manifestation has come to life and this is how grateful I am and I'm feeling so abundant, and I'm writing it down with such certainty I'm infusing the energy and belief of that expectation. Allow yourself to immerse fully in that experience. Feel the emotions associated with you achieving your goals. As you're writing, like, this has already happened. Feel it as if that timeline has already happened, and you will align with that timeline. Trust. Trust. As much as you anchor into that, you are anchoring into that possibility. And there are infinite timelines and possibilities out there. What that dream that you are wanting to live already exists. So the more that you align with that vibration, you are sliding into that timeline. That is a big practice that I have incorporated over this last year, is really writing out, like, as things have already happened. Also including the gratitude and appreciation within that. Like I said, I'm really grateful for this day, for this moment, for this connection. Wow, this has really come to fruition for me. I can't believe I'm here. Like, this is so amazing. Whatever, like, gratitude you can weave into this journaling practice, it's such a powerful magnet for more abundance. So the more you appreciate what you have, the more abundance you'll attract into your life. Incorporate the gratitude into your visualization and into your manifestation practices by focusing on what you're grateful for while envisioning those goals coming to fruition. And most of all, trust. Trust in the process of manifestation and surrender to any attachment to the outcome. Let it go. Let it go. I know it seems kind of counterproductive, like we're manifesting and I'm like, I want this to happen. Manifest the overall goal of this, like, surrender to anything happening. Let it unfold. Release any doubts or fears or limiting beliefs that are blocking this flow of abundance into your life. Trust that the universe is conspiring in your favor and that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. Let go of the need to control every aspect of the process and just allow yourself to surrender to the wisdom of the universe. We often feel like we're meant to have this happen right now. We want it right now. It's, that short-sighted view of, like, instant gratification. We need to lean into trusting that things are going to align when they're meant to align. And that's very hard to do. But the more that we surrender and the more that we trust, the more abundance flows to us, the more our manifestations show up to us. Because if we are, again, clinging to that and we're trying to control every aspect of how this is going to come forward, we're constricting. We're closing off and making that, think of it as just like a funnel. We're closing it off at the end and we're constricting, trying to pull all of that in, and it's going to move slower. So the more that we open up and we're just like, okay, this is what I want, let it flow, let it be, and we keep focusing on the feeling of that happening, the more it will show up for you. I really hope that you have enjoyed this class, that you have taken away some practices that you can lean into to help you cultivate gratitude and abundance and radiate that energy and that vibration. Abundance is all around you and you are abundance. And I hope that you love this class, and I look forward to sharing more of these opportunities with you in the future. If you are curious about other workshops, check out the collection for workshops that are available. There is a Reiki and Dreamwork workshop coming up later this month that I'm really excited to share with you all as well. So the last thing that I want to do here is just kind of talk about how we can bring Reiki into this. And that's going to be through a little brief meditation to end our practice. So thank you again so much. If you'd like to continue to stay here for the Reiki meditation, you are more than welcome to. So let's come into a position that is comfortable for you, whatever that is. This may be seated or laying down. And just find an awareness of your breath moving in and out of your body. Let the shoulders drop down away from the ears. Let the heart space soften. The jaw relax, and the belly, and the hips. We'll begin by bringing to mind these places where you feel restriction when we are talking about abundance. These places where you feel tightness, where we're holding stories, thoughts, patterns. And as the breath flows here, imagine it moving this energy, these denser, constricted energies, moving them down through the root, the base of your spine. Let the breath carry all of the stories away, releasing, creating space. Feel that tightness in the belly softening just below the rib cage, the navel. As you inhale, feel the belly expanding, creating more space. Feel the chest, the heart expand. The shoulders drawing back, heart space opening a little more. As you draw your awareness to your heart center, bring to mind one of those moments of gratitude, of joy. Something you're grateful for, something abundant in your life. Seed that feeling here in your heart. Connect with it. Let it be filled with light. Imagine the Reiki energy moving through the crown of your head and connecting with your heart. The divine, loving, supportive energy of the universe moving through you. And maybe place your hands over your heart space. Let the abundance and vibration of gratitude move through the chest, the arms, the hands. Let it fill the belly all the way to the hips, down the legs, and to the soles of your feet. Embody abundance and gratitude. Embody Reiki supporting you. Let it radiate throughout every cell in your body, every space, every corner. Now visualize your most abundant life. Whatever it is you're manifesting, your most abundant, fulfilled life. Picture it happening here. See it, feel it, as if it's already happening. Align with that energy. Let it radiate through you, all around you. Stay here as long as you'd like. Exist in this vibration of abundance and gratitude. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us on this transformative journey with Reiki Rising. Ready to take your spiritual expansion to the next level? Join us on the Reiki Rising Collective and unlock a world of connection and growth. Subscribe through our Patreon, link in the description of this podcast episode, and gain access to exclusive weekly live distance Reiki shares and enriching discussions. As a member, you'll also receive one-on-one coaching sessions, discounts on workshops, and so much more. Follow me, your guide in all things Reiki, on Instagram at Raven Waterblossom, and take the next step on your journey. Join us in the Reiki Rising Collective. We can't wait to meet you.